We'll see the second example in preemptive SJF. I forgot to tell this preemptive SJF is also known by SRTF name. SRTF means shortest remaining time first. Okay, so that is another name for SGF. So we'll see the second problem in SGF. So we'll start the Gantt chart drawing for this problem. So you can look at the tabular form. At 0 milliseconds you have got only one process, that is process P1. I'll assume this process is having the least burst time. Okay, since it is a preemptive, after 1 milliseconds I will check which process is coming. At 1 millisecond process P2 is coming and E is having the burst time of 5 milliseconds. I need to update here in somewhere. Okay, so process P1 is having 7 milliseconds. He executed for 1 millisecond. Now he left out with the 6 milliseconds. Now which process came? Process Py with the burst time of 5. At this point of time, means 1 millisecond of time, who is having a least burst time? Compare with P1 and P2. P2 is having the least burst time, that is with the 5 milliseconds. I am going to execute P2 for 1 millisecond, that is 1 plus 1. Now it has become 2 milliseconds. So at 2 milliseconds, I am again going to check in the tabular form. So which process is coming? Process P3. E is having a burst time of, so burst time of 3 milliseconds. Okay, update this one. Process P2 executed for 1 millisecond. So you less that one. So that will be 4 now. And P3, he came just now. He is having how many milliseconds? 3 milliseconds. Now compare who is having the least burst time at 2 milliseconds point. Okay, so 6, 4, 3. P3 is having very least. So schedule P3 process now. Okay, and at 3 milliseconds again check any process is coming or not. At 3 milliseconds you are having a process P4. He is having a burst time of how many millisecond? 1 millisecond. Okay, update this process P3. He executed for 1 millisecond. You less this one. So it will be 2 milliseconds. Now just now process P4 arrived. He is having 1 millisecond. At 3 milliseconds you have got P1, P2, P3 and P4. And who is having very least? So that is process P1. That is 1 millisecond. So you schedule process P4. Okay. So he was having only 1 millisecond. We gave a chance for him. So that is he completed the task only. Okay. So process P1, he was having only 1 millisecond and we gave a chance and he executed, he completed. Okay. At 4 millisecond, who is having? Process P5 is coming and he is having a burst time of 2 milliseconds. At this point of time, 4 milliseconds, you have process P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5 with the burst time of 2 milliseconds. But in these many processes, P4 already completed, so don't consider this process. So you compare with burst time 6, 4, 2 and 2. You have got two process P3 and P5 with the same burst time. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ tie up ಆಗಿದೆ. So tie up ಆದಾಗ what you need to do? You need to break the tie using the first come first served basis. Among these P3 and P5, who came first? P3. Right? P3 arrived at 2 millisecond. But P5 arrived at 4 milliseconds. So tie breakup is FCFS. So I am going to schedule process P3. Okay, so he executed for 1 more millisecond, that is he reached for 5 milliseconds. Update P3, less it is going to become 1 millisecond. At 5 milliseconds some process is coming. Who is that? Process P6. So P6, he is having a burst time of 1 millisecond. Okay, so again you just observe the pattern here. So at this point of time, 5 milliseconds, you have process P1, P2, P3, P5. Now P6 also with a burst time of 1 millisecond. So now again you have got a tie-up P6 and P3 having 1 millisecond only. Whom to choose now? P3 only. Why? Because he is arriving at the earliest, that is at 2 milliseconds. So that is why I will continue P3 only. So he completed up to 6 milliseconds and his task was completed. He terminated. Okay, so look at the chart now. There is no other process coming at the 6 milliseconds, right? So now what I need to do, I need to schedule the process who are all remaining now. That is process P1, P2, P5 and the P6. Okay, so among these four processes, P6 is having a least burst time. So I'm going to schedule P6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Next to least is P5. 7 plus 2 is 9. Next to least is P2. That is 9 plus 4 is 13. Last served is P1. 13 plus 6 is going to get 19. So, illi preempt hengagide. What is the preempt concept? So, you can just see here P1 schedule first, again E schedule in the last. So, means he got execution in the beginning, he preempted and he given chances to P2, P3, P4 and so on, and again he got chance at the end. Same way with respect to the process P2. He executed first, but he given preference to the other shortest jobs and he was in the waiting queue and again he got chance at the end. This concept is known as a preemptive concept. Okay, so you can just look at the chart itself and tell whether it is a non-preemptive or preemptive. If the process is not repeated in the chart, then it is a non-preemptive. If the processes are repeated, then it is a preemptive scheduling. Okay, so now write the completion time as usual. You have written. So completion time of a process P1 last complete ಆಗಿರೋದು ತಗೊಬೇಕು. So 19 and for P2 it will be 13 and 6, 4, 9 and 7. And TAT you complete by the formula. You are going to get this values. TAT formula haki CT minus AT, you will get these values, and WT formula apply madi, so that is STAT minus BT, you are going to get these values. You can cross verify this one, so you are going to get the same waiting time. Okay, so process P1. Okay, so actually process P1 arrived at 0 millisecond only and he was served in the 0 milliseconds only. You should get waiting time 0 alva. Is it correct? No, it's wrong. Why? Because he arrived at 0 millisecond and he scheduled at 0 millisecond only, but he waited up to 13 milliseconds here. You can just see he got execution for 1 millisecond. Okay, he completed at 1 millisecond. From 1 millisecond, he was in a waiting queue. From 1 millisecond, he was in a waiting queue, and then he got a chance at the 13 milliseconds. So 13 minus 1, 12. Okay, so you waited up to 12 milliseconds, right? So that is what we got through the formula TAT minus BT. Okay, so formula is easy. Learn the formula. Actually you can calculate the waiting time by looking at the chart itself, but it is bit confusing, so that is why I have given a formula. This formula is not there in the textbook. Okay, so you learn this formula. So then after finding out the average, that is 12 plus 7 plus 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1 divided by 6, you are going to get 4 milliseconds. That's it. That is about the preemptive scheduling second example.